Let's dig into some specific use cases for automation and orchestration when it comes to cybersecurity infrastructure. We're going to be talking about things like user and resource provisioning, guardrails, security groups, ticket creation and escalation, as well as continuous integration and testing, integrations as well as APIs. User and resource provisioning are both great use cases for automation and orchestration. User provisioning means enabling and disabling services and access for employees. Every time a new employee joins the company, they need specific access granted. The same goes for when an employee leaves the company. If the employee is leaving on bad terms, it can be critical to suspend their access immediately to mitigate any risk of retaliation. Resources also need to be provisioned accordingly to the requirements of the organization. For instance, servers and data storage must be scaled up or down based on how much is needed. If users and resources are provisioned by a human, there's a greater chance for mistakes, which can lead to security risks. To avoid this issue, you can use automatically configured processes. Users can be set up based on predefined templates so that each role gets the exact access it needs and nothing more. When an employee leaves the company, all their access can be suspended quickly just by enacting an offboarding routine that has already been set up. No more searching around for all the different accounts that an employee has to access. When it comes to resources, you can automatically set templates for each type of resource to make sure that it's provisioned securely every time without a manual check. Automating user and resource provisioning reduces human error and ensures consistency every time. Automation and orchestration can also be used to set up guardrails. These are boundaries within a system. People can sometimes accidentally or purposefully overstep their boundaries. This can lead to breaches, like someone accessing resources they don't have permissions to. Automatically implementing something like DLP, or data loss prevention, prevents sensitive or proprietary data from being transmitted outside the company. This provides active enforcement of security policies. Security groups are created by grouping employees or devices based on the security access needs. When these are manually set up, it's possible that incorrect group assignments are made that can expose sensitive data or create unknown risks. Security groups can be created and assigned automatically based on predefined roles. This leads to consistent and error-free security access. I remember one time when I was at a company, a system administrator actually left. The system administrator had access to everything on the network. Once he left, they went down the sheet and tried to make sure that his access was removed from all sensitive systems, all applications, and everything else. But unfortunately, someone forgot to remove his VPN access. So he was still able to remotely access everything on a private server that he had configured on the environment, even though he was no longer an employee. Obviously, this ended up being a security breach. Automation and orchestration can also be useful when it comes to reporting security events with a ticketing system. Whenever a suspicious activity is detected, employees need a quick way to submit their concern so it can be prioritized and acted on quickly. Imagine if every ticket had to be individually read, triaged, and assigned by a person. This would cause delays in responding to serious events, and potentially high-risk tickets might not end up making it to the top of the queue. With automation, you can set up keywords for the computer to look for so it knows which tickets need to be addressed immediately. You can flag them based on keywords from certain departments or even based on roles. This is called escalation, when critical tickets are given priority status over lower level issues. These kinds of tickets can also be set up to automatically generate an alert and send a message to an incident response team. This process makes sure that there is a rapid response to potential threats, ensuring high-risk issues are prioritized and dealt with quickly. Business processes aren't the only place where automation and orchestration can help. When it comes to writing code for software, apps, or web development, developers use methods of continuous integration, continuous delivery, otherwise known as CI/CD, and testing to ensure their code actually works well and doesn't have any bugs or security flaws. If the code isn't closely inspected, it may introduce vulnerabilities or break legacy apps. Hackers could use these bugs in the software to break into the system, propagate a virus, or to steal information. Anyone who's ever looked through the lines of code knows eventually your eyes start crossing with so many lines. It's easy to miss small errors in so many lines of code. This is where developers can use automation. They can use specially created programs to test and to scan every line of their code for vulnerabilities before deployment and monitor operations post-deployment. In essence, they are continuously integrating fixes or patches and continuously delivering updated code. This is why it's called CI/CD. This automated process helps systems and software to have less vulnerabilities. Software, apps, and websites can be configured to work hand in hand with each other. This is done using integrations such as APIs or application programming interfaces. If you've ever downloaded an app on your phone, installed an add-in on your favorite social media platform, or synced customer data on your company's website using a webhook, you've used integrations and APIs. If this process is done manually, the data exchange might be intercepted or even mishandled. This can be automated to enforce security protocols for data exchange, ensuring integrity and confidentiality. This leads to safe and efficient integration between systems. Automation and orchestration in IT are about efficiency, accuracy, and speed. It's like turning your IT operations into a well-oiled machine where every piece knows its role and performs it flawlessly. Whether you're welcoming a new team member or reacting to a system error, having automation and orchestration in place ensures that you're always one step ahead.